Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry it's taken so long for me to get back to filming, but I'm back. The plan is for weekly videos to get back to my channel and yeah, just to do more planning with you guys. So today I thought I would plan a really basic spread using only stencils and these items here. Today I'll be using some mild liners, just blue and gray color to kind of do the drop shadow here. Sort of this yellow Tombow brush pen. It is the week of Halloween, so I thought I'd bring in some kind of yellow orangish colors for the pumpkin type of layout. And lastly, I will be planning with a Copic multi-liner in 0.3 in a Leuchtturm 1917 journal today. The stencil set I'll be using is one of my very original stencil sets. So let me find that here. Okay, these right here. And I will link everything down below if you guys were interested in following along. So this is a basic dot grid journal in the size A5 if you are new to journaling. And I'll link this specific planner as well if you were interested. All right, so I think I'm gonna start out with we're just gonna keep it simple. So I'm not really going to include any stickers or washi tape or anything along those lines. We're just gonna kind of plan out together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is use the brush tip side of this Tombow brush pen. It's dual-ended. If you're new to Tombows, they're really amazing for brush lettering or writing. So let's see, gonna just put in a little bit of a header, free-handed here. We see the 27th to, I think this week goes to the 3rd if we're gonna do to Sunday, November 3rd. So as you can see, the flexible tip of the Tombow allows you to kind of switch what is the word that I'm looking for? Intensities, I guess. And I'm just gonna go in with this Copic multi-liner and sort of outline the brush pen strokes. All right, very nice. So I think for next year, I recently decided that I'm gonna go back to the Hobonichi, Techo, and Weeks kind of setup. More so just because I felt like I liked that it had sort of pre-planned out basic layouts, and I really loved the paper. Versus, I mean, I love the bullet journal style of planning where you kind of create your own spreads, but sometimes I feel like I need to be like slightly inspired to do those kinds of spreads, and you can still be creative in a Hobonichi planner. So I recently ordered from the Hobonichi website 2 planners and some accessories. So I'll unbox that with you guys soon. Hopefully that gets here soon. Shipping was like $30, so I was pretty surprised by that. I think I typically order from jetpens.com, but this year, I don't know. Oh, I think they had some kind of like, if you order a planner, you get like a little notebook. So I was kind of inspired to go to the original website. All right, so I'm just using these 2 boxes here from the stencil set, and I will be creating this little arrow. This is more so for decoration. Okay, and I'm just drawing some lines inside my arrow here, just like that. And I think I'm going to fill in this arrow right here. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. I've got these 3 to choose from. Probably going to start with this box right here. You know, I think this is my very, very first stencil set that I ever made. So I thought since it's been so long, I would take it back to the very original set in my first video back. I know if you guys have followed along on my Instagram, which is where I used to post more routinely than here, life just kind of got a little bit crazy, so I took a little bit of a break. Sometimes that's necessary, but I feel really inspired these days. I did kind of a room makeover in my office, and that has really inspired me to start kind of planning again and filming. So yeah, hopefully I can stick to my new plan of weekly videos or updates for you guys. Okay, let's see here. I'm actually going to add a pop of this color here. Trying to hold that down. Actually, it's probably more ideal to do this part if you have like a yellow mild liner, but mine is in one of my journaling bags and I didn't have time to grab it out, hence why I'm doing it this way with a Tombow. See, I'm just gonna move this plant here so I have some more space. All right, so I'm just gonna use these little check boxes. Today is actually Monday, but I don't have anything to put in just yet, so we'll add that in later. We'll just kind of make a video on the actual layout so you guys can kind of follow along and customize it as you'd like. Important. So for this daily task or daily section here, I'm thinking I'm going to use that as sort of like a tracker. So if you want to track like water intake, steps taken, exercise habits, things along those lines, you can kind of add them into this daily section. So in the end, I want to go through and do kind of like a Dropbox shadow on everything, but I'm going to save that to the very end. Let's see here. I'm going to do this little banner box. So I'm going to try and make each weekday slightly different just so you guys can have some ideas. And the nice thing about this stencil is you can kind of follow the box here. You can use this edge and follow the box on top so that things kind of line up. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's way easier than freehanding your boxes. And even this, I'm going to use this little bar here to kind of space out where my daily section will be. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go back with my Tombow. I really wish I had my yellow mild liner. It would be much more accurate than trying to draw lines with the Tombow brush pen, but we are just improvising today. I'm going to put a T here for Tuesday. So the bullet tip, the mild liner, is also dual-ended. It has this chiseled brush tip and this bullet tip that I like to do some lettering with. And for this, I'm just going to outline the T, and then actually I'm going to go in with a little bit of this here. Just going to use this light gray to give me kind of a small header. And I know I didn't do the date over here, but let's see. I'm going to say October 27th. And then it is October 28th over here, but I'm going to do some cursive. Some bounce lettering. There we go, 28th. And then again, this can be your daily tracker. Use it how you wish. And here maybe I'll put reminders. I'm gonna write in lowercase here. It just looks cuter today. Reminders. And then let's go in and add some check boxes. Makes it easier to add in your to-do list or anything you're doing that day. Perfect. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try and do, I said I was gonna do a new banner for each day. So let's do This one up here, we haven't done this one yet. Maybe I'll shift it a little over. Just gonna follow. I typically use the Sakura mild liners, and honestly I wanted to use that today, but I could not find my 0.3 measurement pen, so I can only find the 0.1 pen. So I went with this Copic multi-liner, but honestly it's actually pretty good, so maybe I'll make a switch this year. When I plan, we'll see. I'm not really sure. Just kind of tweaking things as I go. All right, so we're gonna use a blue chisel tip mild liner here. And just in some nice handwriting, I'm gonna write Wednesday the 30th. Wednesday the 30th. All right, and we've got to use our Tombow again. Very good. What are your guys' plans for Halloween? We plan to go trick-or-treating, which should be so fun. I don't have a costume yet this year, but maybe I will pull something together last minute. And I think we're probably going to just like put like a bowl out for people coming to visit our home for trick-or-treaters, just because we likely will be trick-or-treating. So I'll put a bowl out before we leave. Okay, so this side is almost done. Before I forget, let's do that drop box I was talking about. So for this drop shadow, you just do the bullet tip of your mild liner, and I take whatever stencil shape I used previously and shift it to the left and down just a little bit, and that gives you the perfect little shadow. Let me show you guys. See, it adds just a little bit of depth. You could do a slightly darker gray. That probably would have been a little bit better. Oops, sorry, I used the wrong stencil box here. As you can see, it's okay. You can connect it. All right, very good. And this just adds a little bit to your spread. It's definitely not a necessary part. It looks a little bit more minimal if you leave it out, but I've always tend to like the shadow on my letters and my stenciled outline. So here I'm just going to the left of any drawing and kind of adding in this shadow here. So I know back in the day this used to take me longer because I would have to think, oh, where does the shadow go? But I think because I've done this so many times, it's slightly more natural. But yeah, definitely take some practice to know like where does the shadow go and how to do it. So it's really subtle, but I feel like it makes a little bit of a difference. Okay. So we need to do a new banner. Let's do this one here. All right. Okay, so let's do, how this works is you do the original banner box first, and you have to kind of layer your little tags down here. So you shift it out just a little bit over. So it does require a little bit of movement. So you're supposed to end with something like this. And then you connect the lines and form these little triangles and add these little lines here, and it gives some depth to it. So not too bad. And here we're going to do another outline like the other boxes. And we're going to separate this with our notes. So while I'm doing a similar kind of daily and important reminder note section, I am doing different like headers. So I'm trying to vary that up a little in this video so that you guys can get some ideas for your spreads. I think I need a new word. You know, since this is the actual Halloween, I'm actually gonna write Halloween out. And then can probably write out the Halloween plans there. And for this, let's put Thursday in the abbreviated form in big, bold letters. Okay, that R turned out a little bit strange, that's okay. Daily, and just going to outline. Wonderful. Oh my gosh, so I don't know if you guys are reading or are following any TikTok book trends, but currently everyone is reading this book called We Used to Live Here. And it took me a while, but I finally ordered it, but it for some reason it wasn't like next day delivery. It took like almost a week to get to me, but it's finally here. The problem is I'm currently reading something else, so I'm a little torn as to whether I should just pause the book that I'm reading and switch over. But I hear it's supposed to be pretty scary, and since it's like Halloween time, I'm like, oh, I should definitely, should definitely read something spooky, as this is kind of like the spooky season. So I'm torn. I don't want to give up on the book that I'm reading right now. Can't remember off the top of my head the title, but so far it's starting out pretty good. But definitely, if I switch books now, I have a feeling that I might not continue or get back to this one for some time. So that's my current dilemma. It's not really a problem, but what I've been contemplating lately. So recently, after I did kind of like my office remodel or reorganization, I've been really inspired to make new content for my Instagram and YouTube channel, and also to make new items for my shop. It's just like been so long. Let's see here. So maybe new stencils are in the works, new stickers. We'll see. But I am really excited. Hopefully you guys are too. A little bit messy there, that's okay. Daily. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but my weekends are usually pretty filled with things. So I was thinking I might combine Saturday and Sunday together. Just adding in these drop shadows before I forget. All right, very good. Oh, and I got this new keyboard. I'll have to post a video or put a clip of it. It has these like amazing clicky sounds. So if you're into like ASMR, those kinds of things, oh my gosh, it sounds so good. Let's see here, weekend. W. So I'm just gonna trace these, and in order to keep them all in a line, I'm just going to put the previous little arrow in the box before. W-E-E-K-E. Let me just spell this and not mess up here. And, oh my gosh. It's hard to plan and talk at the same time. That's not typically my planning order, but that's the best way to do the videos. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going to go to the bottom here. Let's see, go to maybe here, and let's connect it. Just kind of, so obviously this box that I'm making is much larger than any of my stencils, but I'm just kind of creating my own box. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can always make your own designs using the shapes there. All right, so what can I do here? Let me do a little drop shadow here. Just gonna freehand it because this is like a little V. It's not like a super long straight line. If you're doing these long drop shadows, I do advise using a stencil to hold the spot, just because it gets a little bit messy. if your line is not perfect. Here we go. All right, almost done with this part here. Very good. Okay, so I wanted to put, continuing with my little yellow. I don't want my pen to touch my fingers. There we go. Very nice. So I'm just gonna write down like weekend activities. Weekend. Sorry, the lighting is changing a little bit as the sun goes down, just a tad. Weekend activities, and then let me see here. Maybe I can do like a header. You see how this bullet tip is so much nicer than the brush tip for straight lines? It just looks way neater. So yeah, if you guys have the opportunity, I would switch over to mild liners for the longer lines. November 2nd and 3rd. I think I'm gonna use like one of these boxes. Does this fit okay? I think it's gonna be a little bit tight, but we can always tweak it if we need to. Let's see here. Okay, and then I don't know how close we are to the line here, pretty close. And I was pretty close on the other side, so we'll just keep it like that. Very nice. Okay, that turned out all right. And I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of a header here. Let's do this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna write Saturday. Let's say the light keeps changing, so I'm sure this video is gonna look a little strange. That's okay. Let's do the little hearts. These are so cute. Heart, bullet points, why not? And let's do little hearts over here too. So cute. All right. Okay, let's see. Wonderful. Oh, you know, I actually forgot to write weekend in. Well, that's great. Let's see, what should I do that in here? So I'm just gonna write weekend in lowercase because I'm in a lowercase mood today. Okay, and you know, it looks a little blurred, so let me go over it with a pen. Actually, while I'm doing this, I'm looking at Friday, and that looks a little bit, let me just wait for that to dry. It does dry fairly fast. I don't want to smudge it or do a smudge test, but I am impressed with this pen. All right, let's see how that turned out. Okay, so we've got October 27th all the way to the 3rd, which is Sunday. Today we used one Tombow brush pen, one multi-liner in Copic brand in the 0.3 black color, and 2 mild liners to do this spread. These are my planner stencils in the personalized stencil size. So if you use that kind of stencil binder where you have like the rings, you can hold it in there, or you can just use the circles as like something you stencil with. But yeah, and then this is a Leuchtturm 1917 dot grade journal in the size A5. All right, well, hopefully you guys are happy that I'm back and looking forward to more planner videos. Please let me know if there's some specific content you wanted to see. I hope to plan my unboxing of the Hobonichi goods that are coming up hopefully soon. And maybe like a studio room tour with my new setup. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.